In this lesson, you will learn to add and subtract three-digit numbers using base 10. Remember, the three-digit numbers are composed of groups of hundreds, tens, and ones. And sometimes when adding and subtracting, you will need to compose or decompose those groups to solve. How do we build a number? Let's build the number 323 using base 10 blocks. Start with 3 hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 320, sweet 310, 320, 3, 321, 322, 323, 100, 200, 300, 320, 323. Now let's build the number 265. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 261, 262, 263, 264, 265, 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 265. How do we add numbers? When adding three-digit numbers, we may need to compose or put together 10 hundreds to make 1,000, 10 groups of 10 to make 100, or 10 ones to make a 10. Let's begin by adding 258 plus 229. We start with 258, 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258. Now we add 229. 100, 200, 210, 220, 221, 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, 228, 229. Now let's add them together. 100, 200, 300, 400s. Adding the tens together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And the ones are greater than 10, so we can compose a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can take away the 10 ones and add a 10. Now we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, 481, 482, 483, 484, 485, 486, 487. 258 plus 229 equals 487. Let's try another one. This time, we'll solve the exact same equation by drawing. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258. Adding, so we're going to add 229, 100, 200, 210, 220, 221, 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, 228, 229. Just like we did with the base 10 blocks, we can compose a 10. I notice that I have 9 ones, so I only need one more to compose a 10. I'll take those 10 ones and add it to the 10s. 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, 481, 482, 483, 484, 485, 486, 487. Let's solve the addition equation 163 plus 358 using base 10 blocks. First, we start by building 163. 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 161, 162, 163. Next, we're adding 358. We can add 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 351, 352, 353, 354, 355, 356, 357, 358. Now let's add them together. 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, 490, 500. We can compose a 100 using these 10 tens. So we're at 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 510, 511, 512, 513, 514, 515, 516, 517, 518, 519, 520. We can compose a 10 with those 10 ones. And we have 521. 163 plus 358 equals 521. Let's solve that same equation by drawing. 100, 63 plus 300, 50, 8. 163 plus 358. We can compose a 10 with the 8 and 2. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we can also compose a 100 with the 10 tens. And we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 510, 520, 521. 163 plus 358 equals 521. Sometimes when you add 3-digit numbers, it is necessary to compose the 100s into a 1000. For example, in 732 plus 421, we have 732, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 710, 20, 30, 32, 732, plus 400, 100, 200, 300, 400, 21. We have 700, but if we added 300 more, we would have 10 groups of 100, which equals 1,000. So if we added 732 plus 421, it would equal 1,000, 1,100, 1,110, 1,120, 1,130, 1,140, 1,150, 1,151, 1,152, 1,153. There's 1,000 right here. There's 100. There's 50. And there's 3. How do we subtract numbers? When we subtract three-digit numbers, we start with a number of objects and take away some. We may need to decompose or take apart 100 into 10 groups of 10, or a group of 10 into 10 ones. Now let's try some subtraction equations using three-digit numbers. If we start with 328, 100, 200, 300, 320, 328, and we subtract 26, we would be taking away 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and we would have 302 remaining. Let's try another one. This time, let's draw that same equation. If we start with 328, and we're subtracting 26, we would be subtracting the two tens, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and we'd have 302 remaining. 3 hundreds and 2 ones. Let's try another subtraction equation. 334 take away 248. When we start with subtraction, we always start with how many we begin with. 300, 34. We can subtract 200, but we do not have enough tens to subtract 40. We need to decompose the 100 so that we have more tens to be able to subtract. Can take away the 100 and in its place leave 10 tens. We've already subtracted 200, now we can subtract 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. All we have left is to subtract 8 ones. However, we don't have enough ones, so we need to decompose a 10. Take away the 10, and in its place, leave 10 ones. Now we can subtract 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. Let's solve that exact same equation by drawing. We start with 334. We're subtracting 248. 200. Again, we don't have enough tens to subtract the 40, so we can decompose this 100 into 10 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now we can subtract 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. We don't have enough ones to be able to subtract 8, so we need to decompose a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have enough ones to be able to subtract the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86 left. We started with 334, subtracted 248, needing to decompose 100 and 110, and we have 86 remaining. In this video, you learned how to add and subtract three-digit numbers. Now you try.